Hello, everybody. I'm Parsha Becky, and we are back for another week of Parsha. As I'm sure you recall, we are currently in the middle of reading the second book of Chumash, the book of Shemot. Shemot means names, and the name of this week's Parsha is Beshalach. Beshalach means when he sent. The Parsha is called that because at the start of the Parsha it tells us when Paro sent the Jewish people out of Egypt. Beshalach, Hashem took them out the long way round. Even though there was a shortcut straight into Israel, Hashem said, the shortcut's a little dangerous. If they go the short way, they might get into a war, and then they'll get scared. They'll want to go back to Egypt. It won't work. So instead, they're going to take the scenic route. It'll take a little longer, but it'll be a little bit safer and more successful. And Bishalach, when he sent them out of Egypt, the Torah also tells us the Jewish people kept their promise that they made to Yosef all the way back at the end of the book of Bereshit, when Yosef asked his family to promise that when Hashem took them out of Egypt, to take Yosef's body out of Egypt with them and bury him in Israel. And now, as they're leaving Egypt, they take Yosef's body so that they can bury him in Israel. And Bishalach, when he sent them out of Egypt, the Torah tells us how Hashem showed people where to go in the desert. Hashem led them around with a pillar of fire at night so that they could see, and in the daytime it was a pillar of clouds. A pillar of cloud all day long. At night it becomes glow in the dark pillar of fire, and with the cloud and the fire it showed them where to go. It led them all the way to the sea. Now meanwhile, Pharaoh has realized he's changed his mind. He's like, wait, what was I thinking letting the Jewish people leave Egypt? I want them to keep working for me. This is no good. But it's not too late. He realizes they haven't gone far. I can still chase after them and grab them all back. So Pharaoh gathers his whole army and he chases after the Jewish people and he catches up to them right in front of the sea. And now they're stuck. They've got the sea on one side, Pharaoh's arm in the other, and the people start to panic and they say they were trapped. We're all gonna die. Why did you take us out of Egypt, Moshe? Was there no space to bury us in Egypt, so you took us all to die in the desert? We're all gonna drown in the sea, or Pharaoh will kill us or take us back. This is terrible. And Moshe says, guys, calm down. Hashem will help you. It's okay. Hashem took you out of Egypt. Hashem is going to save you now. And Moshe says, Hashem, what do we do? And Hashem's like, Moshe, you can calm down too. I got this. Hashem takes their pillar of cloud and sticks it in between the Egyptians and the Jewish people. So the Egyptians can't bother the Jewish people all night long. And meanwhile, Hashem tells Moshe, hold up your stick. And Moshe raises his arm with his stick. And Hashem brings a wind. And the wind comes whooshing in from the east, and it blows through the sea, and it splits the water into two. And now there's a wall of water on one side, a wall of water on the other side, and in the middle, there's a big empty patch of dry land. And the Jewish people can now cross in the empty space where the sea used to be, and they've got a wall of water on one side of them and a wall of water on the other side of them. They can see the fish swimming around inside the walls, and they're able to walk through in the space in between. But then the Egyptians are like, hey, if they can do it, so can we. And the Egyptians start to follow the Jewish people through that empty, dry land space between the walls of water. So Hashem makes the Egyptians get all confused, and they're running in the wrong directions. They're bumping into the water here, and they're bumping into the water there. And then as soon as the Jewish people are finished crossing through to the other side of the sea, Hashem pours the walls of water back in, and it splashes back in over the Egyptians, and they are completely drowned as the sea goes back to normal. And on the other side of the sea, Moshe leads the Jewish people in singing a song to Hashem, saying thank you to Hashem, like, wow, that was a wonderful miracle. You split the water with the wall here and the wall there, and how you saved us from the Egyptians who were chasing after us. Thank you so much. And Moshe's sister Miriam leads all the women in singing and dancing and playing instruments, and everybody's so happy and grateful. And now they still need to keep traveling in order to get to Israel. Remember, they're going the long way. So they start traveling through the desert, and they get to a place called Marah. Now, you might recognize the name Marah. It starts the same as maror that we eat on Pesach, because mar means bitter. And Marah is called Marah, bitter, because the water there is too bitter to drink. And the people are like, why do you expect us to drink, Moshe? And Moshe's like, Hashem, a little help here. And Hashem says, hey, Moshe, you see that tree branch over there? And Moshe throws the tree branch into the water, and voila, it becomes sweet and delicious and safe to drink. And they travel from there to a place called Elim, where there's lots of water and no problems. They keep traveling, and A little while later, the people start to complain again, and they're like, "There's no food! I'm hungry! I'm hungry! When's lunchtime? I'm so hungry! I want to go back to Egypt! We had lots of food in Egypt, and now there's nothing to eat! I want food! Give us food! Give us food! Give us food!" And Moshe's like, guys, it's gonna be okay. Hashem will give you food. It's no problem. Just be patient. Hashem will give you food. And Hashem's like, yeah, that's true. I'm gonna give them food every day. Now, side point, when I woke up this morning, out here in Toronto, Canada, I looked out my window and everything was covered in this flaky white stuff outside. Maybe you're familiar with this flaky white stuff that I was seeing outside my window in January in Toronto. Uh, so a similar thing happened in the Parsha. The next day, everybody woke up, they looked outside, and the ground was covered in flaky white stuff. Except my flaky white stuff was snow. Their flaky white stuff was not snow. And they had no idea what it was. And they were going around looking at it. They're like, what? 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 Well, they were talking Hebrew, so it sounded more like ma, ma, ma. And Moshe's like, if you're gonna say what so much, we'll just call it what. So they named the stuff mun, like ma, what. And Moshe explains, like, if you want to know what it is, this is the magic bread from the sky that Hashem is giving you. This is your magic food. It's good. It's good. And Moshe says, now everyone has to gather the same amount, exact amount that I tell you, and you're not going to eat any leftovers because Hashem, God has given you the exact perfect amount for today. Tomorrow, Hashem will give you the exact perfect amount from tomorrow. Every day, Hashem will give you the exact perfect amount for that day. No need for leftovers. This is really cool because, like snow, the mun also melts when it's in the sun when it gets hot. But again, it's not snow. It actually doesn't taste like snow. It tastes like wafers dipped in honey. How good does that sound? So the people gather their mun and they start eating it. But some people are like, I don't believe God that we'll get more tomorrow, even though Hashem just said that would happen. So I'm going to keep some leftovers anyway. And the next day, their leftovers are full of worms and they stink and they're like, gross. And Moshe's like, I told you not to have leftovers. So people every day, they gather their mun, they eat their mun. And then on Friday, there is twice as much mun on the ground as usual. And everyone's like, whoa, why is there so much magic food today? And Moshe's like, yeah, that's because today is Friday. What comes after Friday? Saturday, also known as Shabbat. And on Shabbat, we rest and God rests. And Moshe's like, listen, tomorrow is Shabbat. Hashem is not going to be making more magic food fall from the sky on Shabbat because Hashem will be busy resting. So today, on Friday, you're going to gather twice as much. Anything you want to prepare for Shabbat, cook it, prepare it however you want. Save it up for Shabbat. I promise this is the one time you can have leftovers. I promise there will not be any worms. It will not be stinky. Just get it ready. There won't be any to gather on Shabbat. So people gather double their mun on Friday. They prepare it for the next day. They've got delicious, still fresh mun next day on Saturday. Except some people are like, I'm going to break the rules just to be annoying. I don't believe God that there won't be mun on Saturday. So they go out Saturday morning to gather mun anyway. And they're like, what? Why isn't there any mun on the ground? And Moshe's like, maybe because I told you it's Shabbat. Why can't you listen to the rules? And Hashem's like, seriously, Moshe, I'm really sick and tired of these people ignoring my rules. How many times do I have to tell someone a rule before they'll follow it? Moshe's like, honestly, I don't even know. And Moshe tells his brother Aaron to gather a jar full of mun and keep it in the Aron Kodesh, where we're going to store the Torah, where we're going to have our Mishkan, our sanctuary, to keep it safe so that even generations later, we will always be able to have this reminder of the magic food from the sky that Hashem gave us while we were in the desert. So we keep traveling through the desert. Now people have their magic food every day. And then they get to a place called Refidim, and the people start again to complain. This time they say, I'm thirsty! I'm thirsty! I'm so thirsty! Moshe, are you trying to kill us? You're killing us with thirst! You're killing us with dehydration! God is trying to kill us all with thirst! And Moshe's like, why are you trying to start a fight with God? Hashem is not trying to kill you. Hashem just gave you magic food from the sky. Hashem will give you water if you're just a tiny bit patient. And Moshe's like, Hashem, can you please help me get them water before they try to kill me? And Hashem's like, yeah, no problem. You're going to take your stick, stand in front of them, see that rock over there, hit the rock with your stick, they'll get water. So Moshe takes his stick, he stands in front of the people, he hits the rock with his stick, and water gushes out of the rock, and everyone gets to drink, and they're like, oh, hey, thanks for the water. Sorry about all the complaining, Moshe. And they named that place Masa Umeriva, which means testing and fighting, because Moshe's like, yeah, I guess you guys were testing and fighting God, because that's an intelligent life decision to make. So anyway, they're relaxing now. They're drinking their water and relaxing and minding their own business when a nasty group of people named Amalek sneak up behind Jewish people and attack. And nobody was expecting it, and suddenly they're under attack. And Moshe tells his assistant Yoshua, he says, "Hey Yoshua, quick, gather an army, go fight against Amalek, and I'm going to assist you from up the mountain." And Moshe goes up the mountain, and Moshe raises his arms. Now, I want you to try something if you're watching. Raise your arms with me, and keep your arms up until they get tired. When your arms are tired, put them down. So Moshe raises his arms, and as long as Moshe's arms are pointing up, the Jewish people are winning the fight against Amalek. But eventually, Moshe's arms get tired. Maybe if your arms are tired, you can put them down. Now Moshe's arms get tired. He puts them down, and suddenly Amalek are winning the war. He's got to keep his arms up. But his arms are getting tired. So his brother Aaron and their friend Hur, they come and help Moshe. They give him a rock to sit on, and they stand on either side of him. And Aaron holds up one arm, and Hur holds up the other arm. And with Aaron and Hur holding Moshe's arms up for him, he's able to keep his arms up all day long until we win the fight. And Hashem says to Moshe, "Hey, I want you to write down everything that happened today. Teach it to people, remember it, because Hashem and the Jewish people are always going to fight back against bullies like Amalek who try to hurt defenseless people." And that's something we might even want to keep in mind. It might connect to a holiday that's coming up in a few weeks. Stay tuned. But for now, Shabbat Shalom. That is the end of Parshat Beshalach.